21st World Excellence Award Ceremony here at Vivatel Hotel, Kuala Lumpur, and you can see dignitaries, VIPs, be given recognition, and of course our host here is Dato, okay, and a new friend, a Filipina married to a Malaysian. Real name, ma'am?
I'm Joanne.
Joanne, and of course our beautiful queen. Your name, ma'am?
Belleza.
Elisa, the ever beautiful Belleza. Okay, thank you.
Dr. Millendez.
Hi, my friend. I'm very fortunate to meet one of the beautiful ladies from the north, but she is really based in the California, Southern California. Ma'am, please introduce yourself.
Well, good evening everyone. This is Amelia Sunyo Oborges saying good evening sa inyong lahat.
And what is interesting is, in the last election, she was elected as one of the councilors in your town, right? Can you mention that?
Thanks God I was able to be elected as one of the councilor in Cabugao, Ilocos.
And we were so lucky that I think that was 4 years ago when you invited us to a medical mission there in your resort. Can you mention your resort?
Okay, I would like to invite all of you to visit Mitoni Resort located in Cabugao, Ilocos. And I am so lucky that Dr. Millendez is here with me, and I hope we can duplicate what we have done last 4 years, our medical mission, giving services to our constituents.
Exactly, and I think we should plan that we can again do some medical outreach programs in your, now that you are one of the councilors. So I would be staying here until October 2nd. Because we still have time to plan. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much. I will interview later on more about your plan for the town.
Alright,
Yeah, so,
thank you.
Last words, ma'am, before we go.
Alright, I would like to welcome Dr. Millendez here in the Philippines, and we're actually here in Malaysia, doing the World Class Excellence Awards night, headed by Dr. Navea, and I hope to see you there in Northern California, God willing, and I hope we can work together more projects in the future.
Yes,
Good
and
evening, everyone.
mabuhay tayong mga Pilipino. Thank you so much. Okay, my name is Dr. Anacleto Millendez, the founder of the Beautiful Heart Foundation, and I'm the host of the Beautiful Heart Show, shown every Mondays at KMBT 15 Silicon Valley Community Media. The title of the TV program is The Beautiful Heart Show, and I really appreciate the beautiful women. And beside me is one of the beauty queens of the United Nations. Please introduce yourself, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Evelyn Unam, and I represent Miss United Nations 2018.
And this is an annual pageant that will cover all nations.
So it's international pageant, and last year it was held in Kingston, Jamaica. This year it'll be held in India.
And is there like an age requirement to participate?
Well, there's different divisions. So there's the teen division, which is all the way until 18, and then we have the Miss division, which I'm in, which is 18 until I believe 30. And then the Miss MS Division and the Mrs. Division.
Yeah, I saw a Mrs. United Nations earlier. So
Yeah.
what is the trust of this beauty pageant?
What is
The trust. What is the objective? Other than of course looking at the beautiful women from different age group, what is the trust of the
Well-
United Nations?
in ideally in all pageantry, you are rewarded, yes, as beauty queen, but it's not for physical beauty or prowess as it used to be considered what it was to be beautiful, but it is actually what is in your heart, in your
Beauty of the
accomplishments.
heart, huh?
Exactly. To be considered in the United Nations pageant, you have to have a portfolio of your humanitarian work. You have to show the dedication of your heart. That's
Well,
what you're judged on.
I can relate to that because I'm the founder of the Beautiful Heart Foundation, and we do regular medical mission work. Not only in the Philippines, we explored Africa. We're looking into Mexico, and other than that, I'm the president of the San Jose Silicon Valley Global Lions Club. The International Lions Club is well known in reaching out different countries in terms of helping medical conditions like preventing blindness, cancer. So
You screen everything.
yeah. So Lions Club International is a big international organization, a volunteer organization. So you may check us out, lionsclubs.org.
Lionsclubs.org.
Yeah.
I will definitely do that.
Yeah, it's a non-profit organizations covering so many nations. We have celebrated more than 100 years. I think we're on 102 this year.
Wow.
Yeah, Lions Club International. Once again, man, thank you so much for your time. Good luck and
Thank you. It was a pleasure to meet
Keep
you.
up the good
You were
work.
inspiration.
thank you. Yeah, thank you. And hopefully, I will get your contact number. I'll give you my number. I will put this on YouTube, but this once
Yeah.
again should be seen in the United States. And hopefully, you will have a tour in our area, the Silicon Valley.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm very blessed this evening because I met a fellow worker of Jesus Christ. I think he is a bishop, and I would like him to introduce himself. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Bishop.
Oh.
Your name,
Hello,
please.
Doc. I'm Dr. Argon Mamon, and I'm a bishop also.
And then what church organization, Bishop?
I'm from Jesus Hope of Our Nation, an independent church. We are located at Valenzuela City in Philippines.
And I believe you're also the mover for the honorary degrees that is being awarded regularly. Who is the mover for that?
Well, both of us, I have a partner. He owns a Bible school, and his name is Bishop Resty, and fortunately, he's here with me right now.
Okay, Bishop Risty.
Oh, sir.
You will be seen on the
Hi.
TV program in the Silicon Valley. Introduce yourself.
California.
Oh.
California.
Thank you very much, Doc.
And introduce again your name.
Yeah, I'm Bishop Resty Esquera. I'm the chairman and CEO of Life Ministry. At the same time, the chairman of SACOP. SACOP stands for Samahan
Thank you.
ng mga
Thank you.
Kristiyano Obispo sa Pilipinas.
Wow. It's a big organization
Yes.
from different
Different
Ituro mo ako.
denominations of pastors.
Ituro mo ako ang presidente.
okay.
Ituro mo ako.
Bishop Argon will be the acting president of SACOP.
Sakop. Sakop means
Samahan.
ng mga Kristiyano
Obispo.
Obispo sa Pilipinas.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, I have a very controversial question for
Okay.
bishops like you.
Okay.
How do you see the role of the church
Excuse me, is this occupied
in
already
the
all the chairs?
Duterte administration?
No.
Bishop?
I need to ask because of these people.
What is the role of the church in the Duterte administration?
First of all, we're very happy that the close advisor of the president are all Christians.
Maybe we can
And
put some more
of
table
course, the role of the church is for the president to be more aware that we have an Almighty God that he can serve also at the same time he's serving the Filipino people.
What is your question again, Doc?
My personal question is, what is the role of the churches in the Philippines under the Duterte administration?
Oh, very good. Very good, doctor. In our case, okay, the role of the selected bishops, especially the members of SACO, not the churches, okay, who want to be the catalysts of change, okay. The government per se, with the goal of the president to have a true pagbabago, cannot be achieved because of the overwhelming corruption from top to bottom. So there is a need of bishops like us to accelerate change through spiritual change. And therefore, our goal is to station pastors who are trained to be biblically sound with the mindset of a CEO and enhance entrepreneurial spirit towards all the 44,000 barangays in the Philippines. Through their leadership, there will be a real change.
Yeah, I believe so. I am an ordained deacon myself of the Holy Catholic Church International, and I think the root cause of the problem in governance is really corruption. And it's so sad that as a Christian nation, I don't think it sinks in the minds of the politician. One of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not steal. So we really need a moral and spiritual transformation in our country to move forward, because the root cause of poverty in our country again is corruption, I believe. So what do you think about that, Bishop?
Yeah, as I have said earlier, the root of corruption is now internalized to most of the politicians. I'm not saying to all,
Yes.
but to most. Okay, from top to bottom, up to the barangay level. Okay, so meaning to say, even if you're not corrupt, you will be swayed by the system. So there should be a complete spiritual transformation spearheaded by SACO.
Yeah.
And through that,
yes.
with the right equation, where our goal is to produce Christian leaders who are biblically sound with the mindset of a chief executive officer and enhanced entrepreneurial spirit, I believe there will be a complete change.
Yes, and another very strong effort of the president is the fight against illegal drugs. From day one when he assumed office, there were so many reports of summary killings, executions of supposedly drug users, drug pushers. What is your opinion about that?
In my personal opinion, the EJK or the extrajudicial killings are promoted by those loser candidates, especially coming from the yellow tards, spearheaded by the Liberal Party, okay? And because they cannot really accept the changes being implemented by the president. There is no such thing as extrajudicial killings, as told to us by the president with support from the PNP. Those who were killed were the ones who tried to fight back against the authorities. So
They have to defend themselves.
they have to defend themselves, and I support, even if I am a Christian, even in the Bible, those wicked ones are supposed to be wiped out.
Okay.
And that also would justify the movement now for the the death penalty.
Yes, because that is also biblical. Death
And,
penalty is part of the Bible.
Okay. By the way,
Yes, Bishop.
Doctor, I would like to add something because as of now, I am involved in the Philippine National Police cleansing and what we call the moral values being initiated again by top leaders of the Philippine government, especially President Duterte. And the program is commonly called My Brother's Keeper, wherein pastors, bishops, and ministers take part in this very particular program to enhance their spiritual upliftment. And secondly, the EJK you are telling were merely assumption of the people against the Duterte government. And by that, according to our president, all killings were legal because all the drug pushers and the drug users were killed during the encounter. And thirdly, I am one of the top facilitator of the program in Valenzuela City, particularly called the Wellness Program, wherein all the drug addicts and the patients, we call them patients, are undergoing this program, a rehabilitation in the barangay. The people who are voluntarily surrendered will take part in this program. So that's why I can say that the first priority of the government to cleanse the republic of illegal drugs is doing well. Okay.
And my last question is something to do with the alleviation of the people from poverty. In what is the role now of the church in terms of transforming the lives of the poor Filipinos in terms of livelihood, healthcare? I think there should be a role that the church should play.
Okay. Doctor, we just met one another not so long time ago, but it seems that the Lord really did this meeting with purpose, because actually I'm also one of the top facilitator of the program called 4Ps, or the Pantawid Pamilya Pilipino program, a poorest of the poor program being initiated and being done by the government through the DSWD. And as you question what is the role of the pastor, mostly we are handling the 4Ps or the Pantawid Filipino Pamilya Filipino program in their monthly family development session. That is a requirement by the DSWD to receive this financial assistance from the government, and at the same time their lives are being alleviated. They are also being taken closer, being bring closer to our Lord. So that's why all of your question seems to be with the purpose of the Lord.
Yes, and this is more of a historical comment that pretty soon, in the next 2 years, we will be celebrating the 500 years of Christianization in the Philippines. Is there an effort among churches to celebrate the 500 years of Christianization in the Philippines, which is really on March 16, 2022.
1521.
Yeah. So by 20, yeah. So in other words, that is a very important part of our history as a country, as a church. Are we prepared to celebrate the 500 years of Christianization in the Philippines?
Okay, no offense. I respect that day, March 16, 1521, when Ferdinand Magellan discovered the Philippines and it started the Catholic Christianity. Okay? But the Protestant Christianity started about 100 years ago when the American missionaries came over. Okay? The indoctrination of the Philippines towards Protestantism was spearheaded by different denominations like the Methodists, the other denominations,
Seventh-day Adventists.
were scattered in the Philippine Islands. And as a Christian bishop, this is what I believe in. I'm not contradicting the March 16, 1521, but I believe that Christianity started here when the American missionaries came. But the problem, we have to admit that even the Protestant organizations or the Christian organizations are divided. They are not united because they're espousing different doctrines that made them divided. That's why I just told you that like Jesus Christ, when he started Christianity, he started with 12 disciples. Okay? That's why I'm telling you that through Sako, we can start a small group that will become the catalysts of change, so that together we can make a difference.
But in your organization among bishops, do you have members from the Catholic Church?
Not
Also, this is more of an organization of bishops from
from the Christian organization,
not. So you're not
not
including.
from the Catholics.
No. Why is that so?
I would rather not comment on this.
Because if the purpose is unification,
Yes, but
so there should be a common ground, and we should all embrace each other in the spirit of love,
I
because
agree
that
with
is the teaching of Jesus Christ.
I agree with you. But look, doctor. The Catholic bishops are the ones who are promoting hatred, even hatred against the president of the Philippines. And they were even going into witchcraft. Ha? Kinukulam nila ang presidente. Meron ba po mga bishops?
Yeah.
And led by Socrates, Village, promoting hatred. That running priest, he should be stopping running because he is nonsense.
Well, I would just like to clarify my church organization, Holy Catholic Church International. The word Catholic there does not mean Roman Catholic.
No.
We use their Catholic in the spirit of a universal church.
Correct.
That's why we are more embracing in terms of our faith.
Yes.
The Holy Catholic Church International is more embracing,
Yeah.
not only actually among Christian churches, but we also embrace other churches outside of Christianity.
Correct. I agree with you, doctor. I have nothing against the Catholic Church because all the Christian organizations, all the Christian religions in the Philippines originated from the Catholic Church, not the Roman Catholic Church. Yeah, the Catholic Church is the universal religion.
Yeah, and the word Catholic really is universal. If you dissect the term Catholic, it is
That's the
universal.
definition.
Yeah, not
The correct definition.
Yeah,
Not
when you use
Roman
Catholic, it means universal. But
Yeah.
it's just that.
Actually, the term Roman Catholic actually is an act by the Roman soldiers and the Roman Empire which punishes Jesus up to his death on the cross. So that's why we can see Catholic churches Roman Catholic churches are not the universal church that was perceived by most of the Christians.
As of late, I have an advocacy I call the healing of churches. So if you will support that advocacy to heal the church, because we are wounded as a church, one church, we are wounded because of our experiences with the Roman Catholic Church, because of the abuses of the Roman Catholic priest. We are wounded, so we need a healing. So hopefully you support the trust of healing our church as one universal church.
By
We
all
should
means,
heal.
Okay, please.
Doctor, I fully support your advocacy.
Yeah. So
Okay.
once again, thank you so much, Bishop, for your time.
Yeah.
This is a good start. That
course,
we
Doctor.
recognize that
We
the
will support
universal
you.
church
We will support you.
was wounded, and in any kinds of wounds, we need to heal and move forward. Once again, thank you, Bishop.
So
Thank
God bless you.
God bless.
Thank you po. God bless.
Thank
God
you.
bless you, Doctor.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you. Very happy tonight because I have met again a good friend, and I am her number one supporter. In fact, I created a Facebook page called Friends of Sandra Cam. And today, I am very honored to meet her again. I think the third time.
Yeah, it's the third time.
Good evening, Madam.
Good evening, Doc, and it's really a pleasure to meet you again.
Yes, and I was so excited that you are still very strong in our president's fight against corruption,
Yes.
and we are one in that trust. We are supporting you all the way.
Thank you.
And would you just give us a little update of what's going on?
Well, in PCSO, we're doing fine now. We are starting to be in a normal situation. Actually, this TL was lifted the other day, half of it, those compliant. And I just arrived off from Riyadh because of my love to our president, because I was invited by 2,000 professional OFWs there. And I found out, I was able to unmask the situation of the girls or the overseas Filipino workers in Bahay Kalinga. And I brought with me one guy from Mexico, Pampanga. He was amputated, and he was staying in the Bahay Kalinga for almost 6 months. Nobody is taking care of him. So in just one day, I was able to get his exit visa, and I paid for his ticket. And everybody's crying, and I told them, just wait. When I arrive Manila, I will inform the president immediately, which I did, to Senator Bongo, to Secretary Bello, and Secretary Locsin of the real situation in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I'm doing this because, remember, one of the advocacy of the president is for the overseas Filipino workers. And 3 days ago, our Secretary of Labor, Secretary Vivatel, went to Riyadh, and he really found out what I've told him is right. So yesterday, there are 153 distressed Filipino workers there. That was brought by our good Secretary, Secretary Bello.
I am very impressed about the Honorable PCSO Sandra Cam in her trust to help the distressed overseas Filipino workers. It has been a problem over the years that there were cases of abuses among overseas Filipino workers,
Especially in the Middle East.
especially in the Middle
Yes.
East. And now that, especially that we also supported Senator Bongo, he ran for
The Department of Overseas Filipino
so,
Workers.
can you give us an update? Are we going to really establish the Department of OFW?
Yes, I think so because what they promised is on December, and Senator Bongo is very shocked when I told him about the real situation of the Filipino workers in Bahay Kalinga. Those with cases, those that are being abused. And so the President sent Secretary Bello last August 20,
Second generation.
and he came back yesterday in Manila just for a day there, and he brought 153 workers.
No, joking.
And he was shocked because that was not reported to him. That kind of a situation is like that. And when I went there, though, it's unannounced because the one who invited me are professional doctors and nurses without me going through the process of courtesy call to the
All right, once again, congratulations to all awardees. Let's give a big round of applause. Please remain standing for Philippine National Anthem.
like to thank Nusantara, if I may misspell or whatever, Nusantara BBIP Group. Let's welcome them. I sincerely acknowledge their help in the preparation of tonight's event. Of course, led by Datu Hassan, right? I cannot, it's quite long. Let's give him a big hand, please. Of course, Datu Hamil Yusuf, the president, and I don't know if he's around, Arbiter Datu Ching Chai. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I would like also, but he's coming in late, our Philippine ambassador to Malaysia, Charles Jose. Ito is coming late, but I don't know if he's around already. We have Margin Consultancy, led by Datu Dr. Gina Tan. Of course, we have BCS Aviation Sarawak, led by Datu Robert Tungway. I'm sorry, the names of the Malaysians are quite long, medyo. I cut it short. Yeah. Of course, we have our awardees are from the Philippines, led by Brantro International. Let's give them a big hand. And we have world entrepreneurs, Junka Coin, Pildepta, JB Coin. We have, of course, Space Mall, Skin Magical, another sponsor, and of course, Miss Tourism Worldwide International. Of course, Miss Honorable Amy Abarquez. We have Dr. Kanukun from Thailand. She brought in the Mrs. Global Ecotourism World and Universe, and of course, Miss United Nations International. She'll be on the way here. And of course, Dr. Anacleto B. Millendez, our World Achiever Award for as Outstanding Humanitarian Professional Doctor.
I'm very happy tonight because I have met again a good friend, and I am her #1 supporter. In fact, I created a Facebook page called Friends of Sandra Cam, and today I am very honored to meet her again. I think the third time.
Yeah, it's the third time.
Good evening, Madam.
Good evening, Doc, and it's really a pleasure to meet you again.
Yes, and I was so excited that you are still very strong in our president's fight against corruption.
Yes.
And we are one in that trust. We are supporting you all the way.
Thank you.
And would you just give us a little update of what's going on?
Well, in PCSO, we're doing fine now. We are starting to be in a normal situation. Actually, this TL was lifted the other day, half of it, those compliant. And I just arrived off from Riyadh because of my love to our president, because I was invited by 2,000 professional OFWs there. And I found out, I was able to unmask the situation of the girls or the overseas Filipino workers in Bahay Kalinga. And I brought with me one guy from Mexico, Pampanga. He was amputated, and he was staying in the Bahay Kalinga for almost 6 months. Nobody is taking care of him. So in just one day, I was able to get his exit visa, and I paid for his ticket. And everybody's crying, and I told them, just wait. When I arrived Manila, I will inform the president immediately, which I did, to Senator Bongo, to Secretary Bello, and Secretary Locsin of the real situation in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I'm doing this because, remember, one of the advocacy of the president is for the overseas Filipino workers. And 3 days ago, our Secretary of Labor, Secretary Vivatel, went to Riyadh, and he really found out what I've told him is right. So yesterday, there are 153 distressed Filipino workers there. That was brought by our good Secretary, Secretary Bello.
I am very impressed about the Honorable Commissioner of the PCSO, Sandra Cam, in her trust to help the distressed overseas Filipino workers. It has been a problem over the years that there were cases of abuses among overseas Filipino workers,
Especially in the Middle East.
especially in the Middle East. And now that, especially that we also supported Senator Bongo, he ran for
The Department of Overseas Filipino
So,
Workers.
can you give us an update? Are we going to really establish the Department of OFW?
Yes, I think so, because what they promised is on December, and Senator Bongo is very shocked when I told him about the real situation of the Filipino workers in Bahay Kalinga. Those with cases, those that are being abused. And so the president sent Secretary Bello last August 20.
Second generation.
And he came back yesterday in Manila just for a day there. And he brought 153 workers.
No, joking.
And he was shocked because that was not reported to him. That kind of situation is like that. And when I went there, though, it's unannounced because the one who invited me are professional doctors and nurses.
Good morning, everybody. I'm so honored to receive this award. Being a public servant in the Philippines, and I'm just advocating the policy of our beloved President Rodrigo Duterte for no corruption and good governance. So in behalf of my son here and my 2 sisters, the UN from Manila, thank you so much. And to Dr. Jake Navea and Madam, and to everybody here, thank you so much. This award makes me more, I will be working more to give, especially to the poorest of the poor, the charity funds of the Philippine government. Thank you.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, have a round of applause to all the awardees of the 21st World Class Excellence Malaysia. Of course, India. The impossible dream to fight the unbeatable foe to pay
where the brave cannot go. Through right, your rights are wrong, and to love, pure and chaste from afar. When your arms are too weary to reach the unreachable star. Oh, this is my quest to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, so fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for that heavenly cause. And I know we might only be true to this glorious quest. And my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this. That one man, scorned and covered with scars, and still slow with his last ounce of courage, oh, to reach the unreachable, the unreachable, the unreachable star.
Was it just a dream when you said to me
For once I can touch where my heart used to dream of. Long before I knew someone warm like you could make my dream come true. For once in my life I want someone who needs me, someone I've needed so long. For once I have someone I know won't desert me. I'm not alone anymore. For once I can say, this is mine, you can change it. Long as I know I have love, I can make it. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me. Thank you.